Sorry, but we're going to be taking over this drive-in and showing our movie instead of what the feature film was going to be. I hope you'll enjoy it. It's going to be really interesting. We're going to be looking for identity and finding the light or the dark side. According to Erickson, the crisis that the adolescent faces is balancing their desire to try many possible selves out with selection of a single self. The adolescent must achieve a sense of identity as well as be prepared for facing the next developmental challenges of intimacy and relationships. At this point, they are confused about their identity, and they can never experience intimacy if they do not make this identification in their relationships. Instead, throughout their lives, they will remain isolated and respond to others in a stereotypic fashion. One of the great challenges for the adolescent is to achieve identity, which they often progress through different phases or statuses which jump around. They're not in a particular sequence. These phases include diffusion, an identity status in which adolescents do not have any identity and they're doing nothing to achieve one. Similarly, they may just go into foreclosure, an identity status in which they identify that which was chosen based on the advice from an adult such as their parents, rather than seeking their own. A moratorium may occur, in which the identity status is still being examined, but they have not yet found a satisfactory identity. Achievement comes when they finally explored alternative identities and are now secure in making their choice. Some of the challenges they face in accomplishing these phases includes adolescent egocentrism. That is, they're self-absorbed and they feel that their needs are greater than those of anyone else. They also create an imaginary audience for themselves, feeling that their behavior is constantly being watched by their peers. The idea that everyone can see my zit. An important aspect of self-identity discovery is career development, which involves 3 steps. At around age 13, an adolescent begins crystallization. That is, they start to crystallize the ideas about what their own talents and interests are, and thus limit what potential career prospects they would look at. In the second phase, around age 18, they use specification. That's where the individual further limits their career possibilities as they discover the specific lines of work and the involvement with that work. For example, they may discover they like math, and therefore accounting it would be good. If they don't, they're going to eliminate that. Finally, the third phase in the young adult stage is implementation. It's a period that's still unstable and they change jobs frequently, but they are starting to make a decision of what they want to do and be. Some young people do not adapt well to the demands and responsibilities of adolescence and do not develop their proper identity. As a result, they may become disengaged with society or become involved with things that are dangerous to them. We've mentioned some already about sexual activity, for example, and the consequences that could lead to. Remember what the causes of these bad behaviors were. For example, youth might think that they have that fantasy of invulnerability. What they do won't hurt them. Or they have that sensation of seeking thrills, thus taking risks, and a lack of experience combined with peer pressure makes them make choices that are inappropriate, and peer acceptance, a desire to buck their parents and to join groups. As well, they're influenced by media and the role models they see there and in sports as well. So, what are some of the bad choices the kids? Please read the rest of this information and be prepared for the test. We will have some class discussion.